which is the mantra for the day. Introduction is over, 26 minutes. The third is Yetavanasya Mahima. I'm sure those of you who know Purusha Suktam will find it easy, or you can always find it on Google. Yetavanasya Mahima. Adojjayaguscha Purushaha. Padosya Vishwa Bhutani. Tripadasyamritam Divi. So, while explaining this particular mantra, Yetavan, this particular Purusha. When I keep mentioning this word Purusha, 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 please don't go to the colloquial way of calling the man the Purusha, or outside the bathroom we will find Purush. This has nothing to do with that Purush. In Tamil colloquial language, the husband is called Purusha. So this has nothing to do with our Purusha, Purush, Purushalai, nothing. Puru bahu sanoditi Purushaha, the one who's extremely magnanimous. Can you increase the reverb and the monitor and the volume also? So here he says Puru bahu sanoti, the one who is very adept in giving. Varadaraja Swami is Purusha. The one who is very generous, magnanimous is called Purusha. Now that said, this Purusha Shabdams denote, whom does it denote will keep changing mantra to mantra. When we started, the first mantra, second mantra and third mantra talk about Parama Purusha called Narayana, Purushottama. Now it will keep changing. You have to follow me to understand whom this Purusha denotes. Here, Yetavanasya Mahima Atojjaya Gischa Purushaha. So he is the greatest of the great. Now, how do we understand this greatest of the great? There is one definition given from Shatapatha Brahmanam. I will read that out. Shatapatha Brahmane Adhyatma Khande Pratipaditam. Sanskritam is very simple. I don't have to explain. It says Shatapatha Brahmane. Shatapatha Brahmanam is from which Veda? Some Veda, sir. It is from Shukla Yajurveda, Shatapatha Brahmanam. There is a Taitriya Brahmana that is from Krishna Yajurveda. Shatapatha Brahmanam is from Shukla Yajurveda. Generally, first I will take a census. How many of you are followers of Shukla Yajurveda? Any Shukla Yajurvedic people here? You won't generally find. Very rarely you will find. Mostly they will be from the lower part of Rajasthan, complete Gujarat and some parts of Maharashtra. They are all followers of Shukla Yajurveda, because in Shukla Yajurveda, Surya becomes very important. He is the one who retells the mantras of Shukla Yajurveda. And that portion, that belt, lower Rajasthan, complete Gujarat, upper part of Maharashtra, they all followed Shauram for some time. Shauram is that form of worship where Surya is very prominent. That is why that region itself is called Shaura Rashtram, Shaurashtram. We call it Saurashtram. It is Shauram because of Surya. So Shukla Yajurveda becomes important. Shatapatha Brahmana comes in that Shukla Yajurveda. In Shatapatha Brahmana, interesting mantras about Pururavas, Urvashi will be there. About me, Dushyanthi. There is a mantra in Shatapatha Brahmana that celebrates my son, Bharata. Bharata is called Dushyanthi, the son of Dushyanta. And he is celebrated as a son of Shakuntala. So all that is there in Shatapatha. In that Shatapatha Brahmanam, there is a mantra which says, Yadayam Narayanakhyaha Purusho Mahan Bhavati Tadanimevanur Bhavati Yadayam Vyapto Bhavati Tadaiva Pradeshiko Bhavati Yadaiva Bhumau Bhavati Tadeva Parabhavyomni Bhavati Yada Eka Bhavati Tada Anekaha Bhavati. See, what is the greatness of Paramatma? You cannot put him into one box. If you say that God is only formless, as per this definition, it becomes wrong. Because there is a condition to God you are putting, that he is formless. He has to exist with form, and formlessness is one of his forms. Are you able to understand this? Please understand, Sanatana Dharma doesn't negate the fact that he can be formless. But it says, don't say he can only be formless. It says that formlessness is one of his forms. He can be in different forms. Formlessness is one form. So, the moment you restrict, stating that he can be present only in Tirumala, Tirupati, nowhere else, sir, then he becomes like us, because we are also present only at one point in time in one place. If even Parabrahmam is like that, it is wrong. So he is present at all places, at all points in time. If you call him one, it says, Yada eka eva bhavati, he is one. Tada anekaha, he can be many. Then, Yadayam prakrito bhavati, tadaiva aprakrito bhavati. He can be of prakriti makeup or aprakriti makeup. Yada vishaya vasho bhavati, tadaivo parato bhavati. Yada narako bhavati, tadanim eva swargo bhavati. For a moment, it may seem like he is the hell for us. That next minute, he will become the swargam for us. Yada stri bhavati, he becomes Mohini avatara. Tadaiva Purusho bhavati, he becomes Purushottama as Rama. Yada Manushyo bhavati, he can be a Manushya. Tada Devo bhavati, he can be a Deva. Yada Sarvam bhavati, tada Shunyo bhavati. Yada Prapancho bhavati, tada Prapanchat Bhinno bhavati. Yada Baddho bhavati, tadaiva Mukto bhavati. Yada Shulko bhavati, tada Krishnam bhavati. He can be fair, he can be dark. He can be the Amrita, he can be the Visha. So, all this has been described in Shatapatha Brahmanam. So, what does Shatapatha Brahmana say? The Purusha whom you want to meditate is a melange of opposites in him. This is what Shatapatha Brahmana says. This is the greatness. That is why Vedam says, Yetavanasya Mahima. Look at this Purusha. What is his Mahima? Shatapatha Brahmana says he is the melange of opposites. Now, if you remember in the last lecture, I tried my level best to associate every mantra with a Divya Desham, with a temple. I will read out the Pasuram for this particular mantra. Nalguravum selvum, Naragamum suvargamumai, Velpagayum natpum, Vidamum amudamumai. This is a Pasuram of the Alvar, who sings on a beautiful lord of a Divya Desham called Thiruvinnagar. It is 5 kilometers from the temple town of Kumbhakonam. And this place is called by a popular name, Uppiliyappan Kovil. Uppu Appan, the one that is the only temple to my knowledge where prasadam will not have salt. It is a saltless prasadam. But there is a saying in Tamil, if you cook without salt, it is worthy to be thrown into the dustbin. Uppilla Pandam Kuppaile, you have to throw it into the dustbin. But there it is the prasadam. In that one Divya Desham, Uppu illa appan, the Lord with no salt, who chose to go saltless. Even, I don't know whether he had BP issues, but he said no salt. But there is another way to derive that word. Voppu illa appan. Voppu means match. Voppu illa, matchless appan. There is no one who can match his beauty. So in that Divya Desham, 1600 years back, the Alvar says, who is that Lord? Naragum Suvargamumai. He is the hell and he is the Swarga. What did I read from Shatapatha Brahmana? Yada Swargo Bhavati, Tadaiva Narako Bhavati. He is the Naraka. He says, Velpagayum Natpum. He is friendship and he is enmity. Vidamum Amudamumai. He is both the poison and the panacea, the remedy to our diseases. He is both the medicine and poison. Palvagayum Paranda Peruman, Yennai Alvanai Selvam Malgu Kudi Thiruvinnagar Kandene. I see him in this beautiful Divya Desham of Thiruvinnagar. So to me, this third mantra, Yetavanasya Mahima, the one whose greatness cannot be described, Yetavanasya Mahima, Atojjaya Gischa Purushaha, the one whose greatness only keeps increasing, unlike our phone battery. See, I charged. If I use it, that battery strength will come down. Then those that 95% will become 60%, 60 will become 40. Unlike that, the Lord whose greatness is being exemplified and exhibited to his devotees only keeps increasing exponentially. There is no sign of it getting diminished or depleted. Yetavanasya mahima adojjayagascha purushaha. Till this you have understood? Okay. Now comes the major portion. Padosya vishwa bhutani tripadasyaamritam divi. Correct? You have heard of this? What is padam? Feet, foot, feet. Quarter. You're all from Tamil Nadu? So, padosya vishwa bhutani tripadasyaamritam divi. Pada means foot, feet. Pada means quarter. How do we understand this? For which there is a reference in the Ramayana. Like how we have Valmiki Ramayana, we have Ramayana in other versions too. There are regional transcreations. One of the earliest of the transcreations in the Bharatiya languages is the Kamba Ramayanam in Tamil. If you've heard of this word, Kamba Ramayanam, the great poet Kambal. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳುವಾಗ ಕುಮಾರ ವಾಲ್ಮೀಕಿ ತೊರವೆ ರಾಮಾಯಣ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. తెలుగు భాషలో ముల్ల రామాయణం ఒకటి రామాయణం ముల్ల రామాయణం అంట ఉంది. భాగవతంలో పోతన భాగవతం ఉంది. ఇన్ మలయాళం we have తుంజత్తు రామానుజ ఎഴുத்தచ్చన్స్ రామాయణం. ఇన్ ఒడియా we have జగన్మోహన్ రామాయణం. ఇన్ బెంగాలీ we have కృత్తిబాస రామాయణం. we have ఏకనాథాస్ భావార్థి రామాయణం in Marathi. We have Bhanubhaktaacharya's Ramayanam in Nepali. We have one Ramayanam in Kakavin language of Indonesia. So we have too many Ramayanas. Raman Yettanai Ramanadi is a song. Likewise, Ramayanam Yettanai Ramayanamadi we have to sing. In Kamba Ramayanam, there is one interesting passage. If you do not understand Tamil, don't worry. I will explain, but I have to quote that passage. இவ்வண்ணம் நிகழ்ந்த வண்ணம் இனி இந்த உலகுக்கெல்லாம் உய்வண்ணம் அன்னிமத்தோர் துயர்வண்ணம் உருவதுண்டோ மைவண்ணத் தரக்கி போரில் மழை வண்ணத்து அண்ணலே உன் கைவண்ணம் அங்கு கண்டேன் கால் வண்ணம் இங்கு கண்டேன். So it is, the situation is as such where Vishwamitra is amazed at Rama's greatness. He says, Rama, you're so great. Rama wondered, how great I am, not even married as of now. Then how do you add greatness to me? He said, Rama, it is a general practice in this world for a man or a woman, if they have to punish someone, generally we should not use such words where we may get angry and we'll say, I will kick you. So to punish, we use our feet. And if you want to celebrate your child, pamper your child, motivate your child, you say, come here, give me a hug, come, give me a hug. So you use hands to motivate and feet to kick. But Rama, you have done something topsy-turvy. What have you done? To that feet which is to be used for punishment, you have embraced Ahalya. Those hands which have to embrace someone, you have killed Tataka. So he says, Kaivannam angu kanden. I saw the greatness of your hands there and the greatness of your feet here. What is the other meaning? First version, I saw the greatness of your feet here. The second version, Kal Vannam, means quarterth greatness I saw here. Because till Sita's Vivaha with Rama alone, Vishwamitra stays. 3/4 of Ramayana, there is no Vishwamitra. He says, Rama, I am so unfortunate. I am able to witness your greatness only for the quarterth portion, Kal Vannam. Mukkal, 3/4 I am not able to see. So it fits so well. Like how in Tamil, Kal means both feet and quarter. In Sanskritam, Pada means feet and quarter. Yet our politicians will say these two languages are at warheads. Tamil and Sanskritam. See, look at the unanimity in both the languages. So how do we understand this Padosya Vishwa Bhutani? For which I have to take you to a few mantras and understand the Srishti Kramam. There are verses from Bhagavad Gita which the Acharya has quoted in the commentary. Dvavimau Purushau Loke Ksharas Chakshara Evacha Kshara sarvani bhutani kutastho kshara uchyate. Kshara and akshara. There are two categories. What does kshara mean, akshara mean? For which Ramanuja Bhashyam reads, Tatra ksharak shabda nirdishtaha purusho jiva shabdabhi lapaniya brahmadi sabma paryanta ksharana swabhava chit samsrishta sarvabhutani atra achit samsarga rupaikopadhina purushaha iti katva nirdeshaha. Akshara shabda nirdishtaha kutasthaha achit samsarga vyuktaha svena rupena avasthito muktatma. There are three categories of the jivatma. Jivatma that we have has three categories. One is called Baddhatma. Baddhatma means that Atma which is bound by karma. What is the example of Baddhatma? Us, we. Put your fingers like this. We are the Baddhatma. We are all bound by karma. How do you know karma? Karma is something which is beyond us. It is the result or the fruit of our past and current actions, of which we have no control over. How do we know that? In a few minutes from now, we will start feeling hungry. When hunger comes, our quest for knowledge will go away. But thank God, Bhagavan has blessed Indranagar and Domlur with some of the best outlets. So you take a radius of about 4 kilometers, you will feel satisfied. So this is the result of our karma. When we want to listen to something good, which occasionally occurs, in that also our karma will forbade us from listening. So we are all bound by karma. So we are called Baddha Atmas, Baddhatma. Interestingly, by the grace of our Alvas and Acharyas, one day, maybe the end of this Janma, when our Jiva Atma departs from our body, we are not born again. Imagine a situation. In that scenario, we have to go to a place. We cannot keep loitering. It doesn't mean if you're not born, you can keep getting suspended like balloons somewhere. You have to go somewhere. So that place has to be a padam. That Vaikuntha where we go to, that moment we reach there, our status from Baddhatma will become Muktatma. So from H1B, you get green card. But there are certain Jivatmas who have been perennially, eternally, perpetually serving Paramatma in Vaikuntha itself. They are called Nityatma, like Ananta, Adisesha, Garuda, Vishwaksena. They are all called Nityatma. So we have got Baddhatma, Muktatma, Nityatma. H1B, green card, citizen. Now don't see, if I give such examples, it is meant for those who can understand better. If you have already understood the first part, forget about this H1B and all of that. Now immediately somebody will write, why do you want to compare the holy Purusha Sukta with H1B? You know, without giving examples, if I give a lecture, then I might as well give one book to everybody and ask them to read. If I give examples, it is meant for young people to understand better. Now don't associate permanently Baddhatma with H1B. Now that should also not happen. So we have got Baddhatma and Muktatma. So this Kshara Shabdam in Bhagavad Gita refers to Baddhatma and Akshara Shabdam refers to Muktatma as per Ramanuja's Bhashyam. Now, Etavanasya Mahima Atojjayaguscha Purushaha Padosya Vishwa Bhutani. What that great Purusha Srishti that you see here, Vedam says, is only a quarter of his creation. Whatever we see, what all we see, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Chandrayaan, Neptune, Pluto, Sun, all this, right? That is a quarter of his creation, it seems. Imagine the way Vedas want us to imagine. See, when we look at Bangalore itself, we say, Sir, tumba busy aitu, sir. Population tumba jasti agbittide. We will say. Bangalore is a fraction in Karnataka. Karnataka is a fraction in Bharatadesham. Bharatadesham is a fraction of Asia. Earth is a fraction of our solar system. Solar system is a fraction of the universe. And that universe is a fraction of the Lord's creation, it seems. Padosya Vishwa Bhutani, that Padam. Now, whose padam is it? That is where we have to understand Srishti. There are 5 levels to Bhagavan, 5 states to Bhagavan. Agamam clearly talks about 5 states. Para, Vyuha, Vibhava, Antaryami, Archa. These are the 5 states. What do these states denote? For example, let us take H2O, water. Water can exist in 3 states: as solid state, right? As ice. We are all youngsters, so you're asking such easy questions. Water can exist as ice. In liquid state as water. In gaseous state as vapor. What do we do with that solid state? Many of us, when they go in the flight, they will ask, give me water with ice cubes. Correct. That ice cube has to be there. Even when we fall, they'll say, give an ice pack. So that time water pack won't help. The same H2O in a solidified state helps. When we want to drink, you have to give only water. You cannot give ice cubes and say, let it melt. Then you drink. So for drinking, I need water. Whereas when we go for cleaning up our face, that person in that saloon or spa will give us good steam. That time we need steam. So all these 3 states are for the same formula H2O. So you call it the solid state of H2O, liquid state of H2O, gaseous state of H2O. Sir, you have said these 3 states. Can these 3 states coexist? Yes. For example, in a glass of water, you can put some ice cubes. So solid and liquid state go together. When the steam comes from that instrument, you can see water and steam in the same jar. So these 2 states can also coexist. Similarly, Bhagavan has 5 states. Para, Vyuha, Vibhava, Antaryami, Archa. Let us go to the first state. The first state is where Vedam states he is present in the Vaikuntha, as Para Vasudeva. When you go to Srirangam, the beautiful island temple town in the fresh waters of Kaveri near Tiruchirappalli, you will find the Vimanam where it is called Paravasudeva Vimanam. Paravasudeva. Vasudeva exists in the first state called Para. So he is called Paravasudeva. Next, Vyuha Vasudeva. When he wants to create, that Paravasudeva will become Vyuha Vasudeva. Vyuha is that state where he is deployed in creation, sustenance and dissolution. So Paravasudeva will become Vyuha Vasudeva and will split into 3. Sankarshana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. For gaseous state, what example did I give? Vapor. In which place do we use that I gave? Spa. Now remember that spa. Sankarshana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. S-P-A. Spa. You have to remember that way. Now every time you go to the spa, you have to remember Sankarshana, Pradyumna. Now, so we have got 3 states. Then from this state, the third, Vibhava. Vibhava means where the Lord chooses to be born and be living like one of us amongst us. Like Rama Krishnadi Avataram is called Vibhavavataram. Atimanusha Sheela Vritta Veshaihi. Ativrittamara Vikramah Pratapaihi. Atilanghita Sarvaloka Samyam. Varaye Vaishnava Vaibhavavataram. So Vibhava means where he becomes an avatara like Rama and Krishna. Next, the 4th state, Antaryami. He stays within each of us. Sir, in the dog, yes. In the cat, yes. In the recently born cheetah pups, yes. Everywhere he becomes the witness. Avyayaha Purushaha Sakshi. That Purusha becomes the Sakshi from the within. So at that state, he is referred to as Antaryami. 4th state. 5th, Archavataram, because all the first 4 states have some limitations. Paravasudeva, where can we find? Vaikuntha. When are you planning to go? We don't know. Whether first of all we'll be eligible for Vaikuntham, we don't know. Vyuha Vasudeva, there is no abode. He engages in all these activities. He is not going to call us. Like how you can observe what is happening in the parliament from gallery. He will not call us, see, I'll give you one gallery, you see how I'm creating. He's not going to show. So Vyuha state is also beyond our reach. Vibhava avataram, Ramakrishna, the avataram, we can see. We would have seen, but we don't remember. See, when I say we have past janmas, we may have lived in Ayodhya itself. Trust me. Some of us would have lived during the times of Rama, but somehow we fell out of Rama's good books and we are born again. So Vibhava avataram is also out of our reach. Fourth is Antaryami, he's within us. So that I can meditate. If you are able to see, you need a separate temple for yourself. See, if someone says, I'm able to see that Antaryami, we have to celebrate them as the 13th Alvar. So first 4 states have some limitations. The 5th state tries to overcome that limitation. That is where he exists as Ranganatha in Srirangam, Venkateshwara Swami in Tirumala Tirupati, Aprameya Swami in Doddamalur, as Krishna in Udupi and Guruvayur, as Rajagopala in Mannargudi, as Rama in Vaduvur, as Parthasarathi in Tiruvallikeni, as Rama in Bhadrachalam, as Vithala in Pandarpur, as Bhadrinarayana in Badarikashramam, as Vishnu in Gayakshetram, as Srinathji in Nathadwaraka. So he exists. This is called Archarupam. 5 states. Correct? I have been comparing each of the mantras with an Archavataram. There is no commentary like that. I am doing it as an extra exercise. But what does the commentary state? It now talks about Vyuha Murti. I spoke about the second, right? In that I said, Paravasudeva from Paraswarupam, if he decides to do activities, he comes as Vyuha Vasudeva. Vyuha Vasudeva splits into 3. What are they? 7 minutes before I said Sankarshana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. If you remember Spa, you can tell this word easily. Now, each of these murtis have a duty to perform. Sankarshana is responsible for dissolution. See, in Sanatana Dharma, you should not use the word destruction. Not because it is negative or positive, because there is nothing called destruction. It is only dissolution. There is some change in state which happens. See, whatever is destroyed has to go to another state. You cannot completely destroy. Simple science. So, dissolution. Sankarshana performs the activity of dissolution. Pradyumna? No. Creation. Aniruddha? Protection. Sir, you said Spa. Sankarshana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. What are the activities? Dissolution, creation, protection, which is sustenance. Why do we have to go in this order, sir? There is a great moral in this. Unlike the Western religions that profess on the linearity of life, you're born, you're living, you're dead. That has crept into even our civilization. They say, life ek hi baar milta hai. Vikrant Massey says that in that movie. Life ek hi baar milta hai. That is not Sanatana Dharmic concept. There are multiple lives. See, some people say, ek baar, I see all these dialogues, right? They'll say, smoke once, life ek hi baar milta hai. With that smoking, life ek hi baar. So, this concept of life ek hi baar hai doesn't exist in Sanatana Dharma because we believe in multiple lives of the past and based on our karma in the future also. So, how do we describe this cyclic nature of Sanatana Dharma? See, for example, you are coming home. You are asking me, what are you doing? I'm saying, you are coming early in the morning, let's say at 6 a.m. You're knocking at my door. In my door, you can knock, don't worry. So 6 a.m. you're knocking at my door and asking, what are you doing, Dushyanth ji? I'm saying, I'm washing the utensils that were used to make the dosa in the previous night. What do we understand from this? Dosa was made in the previous night, bracket, yes, nights. Because every night we make only dosa. There is a message here. See, if you believe morning to night is one life, and I say I'm washing the utensils of the previous night, which means I believe this is a cyclic process. Similarly, when Vedam says, Sankarshana first, dissolution first. How will you undergo dissolution? Only when there is a creation before. So Sankarshana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. This is the order. Dissolution, creation, sustenance, which is protection. You have remembered these three murtis. So Paravasudeva becomes Vyuha Vasudeva. Vyuha Vasudeva further bifurcates into three: Sankarshana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. But to do all these activities, he needs gunas. Namaskara Mastikas. I'm tentatively scheduled to travel to Abu Dhabi and Dubai in the mid-February, to 7 cities in the countries of Australia and New Zealand, namely Adelaide, Perth, Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, Auckland and Wellington between the 25th of February and the 25th of March. I'm scheduled to travel to Singapore either in the month of April or January, and later I'll be rendering discourses in New Jersey, Boston, Maryland, Pittsburgh, and then in St. Louis and Indianapolis in the month of July. I'm sure you would love to share this message with your friends and relatives.
Dear Astika reader, I'm happy to be authoring a 2-part book on the Ramayana in English. The first part is slated for release in the year 2024. The book aims to recreate and retell the Ramayana of Valmiki, conforming to the ancient commentaries and other allied literature. To receive notifications of the book release, kindly register with www.deshikadaya.org/books. Namaskaram.